Hi, this is Shade X. Today we are answering the question when the flood from hell entered into D&D, or artists known as Dungeons and Dragons. So, first off, let me explain the flood. They start off as a faction form like this. See, the flood is a incredibly ancient disease parasite thingy do. Basically, there is no cure for it, and it can rapidly mutate humans. Also, basically, this thing isn't try to reach on your neck, then start mutating you. Um, yes, the mutations are going to get painful. See, they can watch on basically any type of creature. But basically they're smart zombies, but well better. One will get on your neck, tap in your nervous system, and try to kill you, or we serve enough flood forms and found somebody that's very smart, like a college officer. They will make him into a proto grave mine. A proto grave mine can start coordinating the flood tactics and start selling people's minds and trying to get up our biomass to become a grave mine. A grave mine is more smarter. Since it actually speaks in rhymes a lot. Like that when how it mutates, and it absorbs tons of people's knowledge and can start building combat forms while was able to flood to use weapons. See, the basic I tend to skip over the flood mutations part. Like when they unmutate you, you get speed shrink and not so much intelligence, but still durable. They're also intimate variants. You could come a carrier form that could unleash more faction forms, or a combat form that says probable speed and strength. And we there's a proto grave mine or grave mine or a K mine. You could get yeah. Let's go back to the grave mine. The grave mine, the K mine. Yeah, busy. You see, it's very dangerous. We see K mine. There's no way you can stop it. It's all the flood forms are coordinated and tactical. And I also did forget about the tanks, the over. See, they could create something called APR forms of the flood. Basically, at this point, they didn't make things are not a out. They no longer need a host. They can actually make their own suit of army. Each army will says like a tank. Basically, tell something about a tank. Basically, it's very bold. It says Scrabble strength, but very slow. And also, I got about the Logic Plague. Yeah, see, the Logic Plague can also affect computers and AI. So very decimating. So yeah, basically their overwhelming threat but using swords, weapons. PC, they tend to utilize much of things in D&D. Now, how I see what's gonna start happening, I see the faction forms will be usually very weak in D&D, or Dungeons and Dragons. But of course, there at least one cell survives. That means the flood survives. Like in the Hero War, the Forerunners had to build a weapon that had to kill everything in the universe before the flood absorbs them. And basically how I see this, usually they're weak, but they will. But of course, they cannot be killed like with swords and additional weaponry with arrows. Basically, the best thing to do is magic. But of course, as I said, we say facsimile. That means they are gonna be more powerful. They will grow in numbers, as I predicted. Slowly, like we say there was like, let's say they are a million. We say he got in a village and infected the entire village and made a proto-grave mine. They tend to be way more dangerous. They tend sort of serving biomass and surrounding area, people, animals in there, and now getting hands. And imagine adventurers, especially a wizard in the group, will be surely, well, dangerous since we say Zorb him. That means they can do magic now. Well as utilize weaponry, and their girls are now changed into getting the proto-grave mine. I meant the grave mine to the key mine. Basically, I see it as like a snowball effect. Take over a village that spread out, gather more biomass, increase the intelligence in numbers. Basically, we see reach grave mine. Then D&D is not in the, or the dragons will not have like anything that to deal with it. Like they all can use magic at this point. The can coordinate attacks. Like dragons' voices are very large, but with Gravemine's army intelligence, and with the sheer numbers now, they can quickly out tacticalize and quickly could actually affect the dragons and now use all their memories in their heads and all their powers now being hands. You see, they're gonna rapidly grow and at a rapid rate, and problems are gonna escalate to like, trillions at this. Basically, only the major, but of course, there's. We didn't know, blue dragons, silver dragons, and the golden dragons, are actually, are kind of in a pack group or have a digital government. They actually establish leaders, and I just think the dragons are the best helping coming through the flood, but with the sheer numbers, but of course, they want to initially attack, and they are then away. Wouldn't notice through the sheer number of the flood, true they are initially a threat. With their sheer numbers with the mine, grave mine, and with all their numbers, and probably with some dragons, and their peer forms. Oh, I care about the spores. Yes, yeah, they about creating something called airborne disease. So, we see breed them in, you're then they get affected. So, basically, all your attacks will be basically counterized. They're quickly start overwhelming your numbers. They're outsmarting you. Eventually, the entire opponent, D&D. Dungeons and Dragons world you are on is in the Ditko War. And also, do you know, Dungeons and Dragons, each game you play is in a different realm or in this same realm? Basically, they can leave that realm and conquer all the realms you. Yeah. Basically, this is now canon in D&D. What I just did. Now there's a dangerous parasite threat that absorbs knowledge, weapons, skills, basically everything about you. Good luck. I will be staying here and try to survive this pandemic of flood. The most dangerous being you could ever encounter.